Hello and welcome to The Corner. I'm the Frosted Glass, and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages, not Jack Gunsky.
All hail Ronald Reagan.
God damn it.
Moonshock.
Well, let's see. Is Jack, are you going to laugh? I mean, not Jack, are you going to laugh again so that I can get my proper... Anyway, baby penguins, they definitely make the best biofuel. I would highly recommend throwing them into a bioreactor if possible. And if anybody doesn't get that reference, then you haven't been watching my streams.
All right.
So this just in, nobody in the stream got that reference.
Kiss my what?
Throwing a bunch of people into ovens. I can't go wrong. All right. Terry Diamantis.
Hi. I don't blame you, Terry.
And
Hi.
this week's special guest, Prospero.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry in advance.
Not your fault.
I know.
I'm just reminded of the episodes of Newhart where he would host a television show and then end the show by saying, "Good night," and I'm sorry.
All right. So why don't we start with our first story? And that is 15 reasons why it's great to be black.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Prospero, what are 15 reasons why it's great to be black?
I don't know because I don't have 15 reasons why it's great to be white because I don't think that way.
Why is it so great being black, Prospero?
No. One of the reasons it's great to be white is you don't have to pick your own cotton.
Oh, hi-oh.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be a pedant here. Sharecroppers in Mississippi had to, and they weren't all black. Just saying.
By the way, we've actually gotten an article from this same chick. This is that black chick that's got the dreads that has a very, very small picture, so it's hard to actually see what she looks like.
Laura
this is
and
the
Quinu.
this is the one. This is the one who wrote the article last week where I switched white with Jew.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
All right.
It's gonna be
And-
one of those weeks, isn't it?
And
No,
why?
you know what you need to do?
Alright.
Change all instances of black to white.
This is a long one, so I'm gonna have to skip around a bit. All right. And why I wouldn't trade my beautiful blackness for anything in the world.
Okay, good. Since it's an immutable characteristic, that's good.
It also, blackness sounds like a euphemism for a rather lengthy penis. I'll show you my blackness.
Okay, then.
All right. I'll just skip to the reasons. So, number one, black features are gorgeous. One of the best things about being black is our physical features. No, we don't all look alike, and no, we
So
don't
you're not
even...
all gorgeous then.
And no, we don't even all have the same features. But the ones that are attributed to us are so beautiful.
No shit. I mean, really seriously.
Whether we possess them or not.
Yeah, they're beautiful. Therefore, I shall co-opt them as my own.
Is this why an article comes out every other week complaining that white people should be open to dating black people or else you're a bigot?
You know, I'm also waiting for her to somehow figure in the whole white people always want to touch our hair kind of bullshit.
Whether
I can
we...
do that. I can do that every damn day because the stuff that grows on my head is like that. I have very kinky curly hair.
Should we call you Prospero the Nappy?
Please. I can't say it anymore, but
I could use a nappy.
Whether we individually possess them or are left to admire them in others, which you don't have to be black to do, it's a good feeling to know they are mostly attributed to blackness. I'm talking about
Are you sure?
I'm talking about our hues ranging from year-round tans to black like the Queen of Dark herself, the lovely Nyakim Gatwech.
Oh, her.
Yeah. Which
Queen
which
of Dark sounds like some kind of a superhero's antithesis.
who I'm sure needs no introduction.
Of
God
course
is
not.
an
We all know who
God
that
is an artist, and we are his canvas.
Oh my God. Okay.
Wait. Are
All
you a
God's
biologist?
children.
Do you know that God's a male?
Here, I'm gonna channel my inner random American and say, "You've got to be kidding me."
Eh.
I'm just gonna say, Ray Stevens said it. Jesus loves the little children, all the little children of the world. He did not say Jesus loves the black children more than the white children.
Well, that's because the song was wrong.
Yes, the song is racist.
There's also our textured hair, which bends and coils and can be styled in so many different and unique ways. For women, our full lips and ample hips are so desirable that women subscribe to injections and even undergo the knife to get those features for themselves.
What about black women that don't have those features?
Well, no,
Anybody
they already
ever
said.
seen Sherry Belafonte Harper?
No. They already said in the article it doesn't matter whether individual black people have these features or not. It still makes all black people gorgeous. Just those traits
by
are associated
association,
with
yes.
blackness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when Michael Jackson said it doesn't matter if you're black or white, he's talking about the different hues of black people, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Ebony and ivory go together in perfect harmony as long as you only play the black keys.
Exactly.
And don't call them blackies. All right.
Black keys.
All right. Number 3, we've got soul. Black people have so much soul. From our rhythm and music to our food, our cadence, and our swagger. Our soul makes us the cool kids on the block wherever we go.
I don't know about you, but that's an anti-ginger thing
I'm
right
just-
there.
I'm just thinking of the movie Zoolander, where Derek is reading the eulogy and he says, "I thought of them as my brothers, and not in the familial, not in the family sense. I mean it more like in the way that black people use it. I think it's more meaningful that way."
Okay, Keeve just said it correctly. Weave, as in WEAVE, got soul.
Yeah.
A lot of our soul comes from our experience. We've had to rely on our wits, our faith, and a strong connection to our Creator in order to get where we are. I think a lot of this...
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She's doing collective racial history.
I think...
God damn. Okay, go ahead.
I think a lot of this shines deeply in the ways in which we feel our humanity and that of others. We bring a disparate energy to life, in general.
I would ask that you feel yourself a little less.
And it naturally bleeds through to the things we create and our unique ways of being. Number 4, we've got dibs on Africa.
Good. You can have it. Take it.
Great.
Go back there and live. You can have the fuck out of Africa. I don't care. Just go. Go.
What can I say? Y'all know I love Africa. So to know that I am black because of my connection to the motherland brings me so much joy.
Go.
To know that Africa is our ancestral homeland should give all of us a sense of pride in that we come from an ancient people and a diverse place brimming with rich histories, extreme intelligence, unmatched creativity, and deep spirituality.
Okay.
I've seen
Breaks
African
on-
history. No.
And based on the whole extreme intelligence, because on average, the average IQ of the African, the black countries in Africa is below dipshit level of what you would consider a mentally handicapped person in all
But also,
other areas
just
of the
a
world.
quick reminder: Black Joy, her surname is Reed.
I'm glad to see that she identifies with the whole blood and soil thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. This is just like Hebrew Israelite talk.
Uh-huh.
You know,
I haven't-
At least she's got the right part of a continent, however.
Well, and you've also got people that are actually native to Africa. They're saying these people or these black folks in America, they don't represent us. So stop saying this kind of stupid shit because you don't in any way, shape, or form represent us.
Certain languages even have disparaging words for American blacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite thing is that Elon Musk is an African American.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
I haven't been to all 54 countries yet, but when I'm in
I
Africa, especially West Africa, I feel a familiar energy, which is both soothing and restorative.
Well, don't come back.
Yeah. Accidentally misplace your passport, or even better, burn it, and then go and conk yourself on the head, and maybe you'll get permanent amnesia.
For any visitor, black or not, Africa is a magical, mysterious, vast, and interesting place like no other.
We was kangs.
To know the continent is always there and that I am her child brings me great comfort.
Okay, do you get up in the morning and say, just knowing that Europe is there brings me great comfort?
This bitch eating the magic dirt. Ain't that the truth, cynic?
Yeah.
Number 6. We have a pretty decent history.
Okay.
Do you really?
Now, is she going to identify the fact that it was blacks that sold other blacks into slavery?
No, that didn't happen.
Oh.
There were some Portuguese, and they drove a boat up and they parked it along the West African coast.
Yeah, and they put up a sign that said free chicken,
I'm going to talk a little bit about this lady's history. Daddy left at a very early age, and you've been jaded about it ever since. There you go. There's your history.
I still like the...
But you cut out, Moon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I like the free chicken part better.
And speaking of history, I love that no matter what part of the world we're immediately from, we can be proud of who we are and who we come from.
Can you, though?
While more recent years tell the story of a people deeply victimized both on and off the continent, I am relieved.
I read ahead. I'm sorry.
I am relieved that we are not the victimizers. We get to be shame-free about our history and who we are.
Honey,
Which is
nobody has that fucking privilege. Nobody on the planet, which is why we don't do collective guilt. We don't do collective salvation, and collectivism sucks.
Which is why our phrases like Black Power or Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud point to a celebration we can enjoy instead of one that might cause some to feel ashamed or even be offensive to others.
Does she know anything about the Pan-Africa movement?
No.
I X to doubt.
No black
Huge
people have
X to
ever
doubt.
done anything wrong.
No, in
Not
this
once.
case, Prospero, it would be Malcolm X to doubt.
There you go.
Yeah, and I mean, even he got over it, and then they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
This is because we've done right by most people throughout history.
Oh, wow!
We haven't colonized anyone or practiced chattel slavery.
That is bullshit,
Oh,
right?
you're
now.
still practicing chattel slavery, you
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
To
What
this
are you
day.
talking about? Oh, excuse me, blood diamonds? What are they entirely?
Well,
Charles
it's
Taylor?
interesting you say
What
that because read the next line.
Yeah. They may say we sold our own into slavery. Not true, of course.
bullshit.
Bullshit.
But no group of people can point to us and say we systematically raped their women, emasculated their men, sold their children, held them in bondage, or any of that.
I
Oh,
mean, check the
it's
U.S. crime
Congo?
statistics.
Has she been
Has
paying?
she seen the statistics out of the Congo?
Also, has this woman actually been paying attention to all of the news that's coming out of Europe, especially out of Germany? There was a PJW video today that he was talking about the crime statistics in Germany. The vast majority, or the overrepresentation of the minority, is involved in the rapes, the assaults, all that kind of stuff.
You're forgetting one important thing. Those Germans didn't vote for Biden, so they are not black.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Oh, damn.
Well,
I'm sorry.
you're also talking about a lot of Asians
Yeah.
in Germany.
Mhm.
We
Oh,
can
just
hold-
like those people that claimed that they were Ukrainian refugees just happened to have been okay.
we can hold our heads high in that we may not have a perfect history, but in the grand scheme of things, our historic conscience is pretty clear.
Whatever this woman is smoking, I want some.
Wow.
Number 7, we are extremely strong. I do not know a stronger people, period. Everyone knows at least some of what we've been through all over the world, yet we're still here.
Excuse
Coloni-
me. The entirety of Jewelry is on line 1 and would like a word.
Yeah. Bitch, you ain't done jack shit. You haven't done a single goddamn thing in your entire life. You do not know pain. You do not know suffering. God
No.
knows, neither do I, thank God, but I'm not going around talking like I do. You haven't done anything.
No, I would say that she lives pretty goddamn good too in that
You-
lovely cushy place that she's living.
You have lived a cushy little life that has been totally bereft of any adversity whatsoever, any real adversity. And the second you experience real adversity, you will crumble like a ton of fucking bricks.
Oh, God.
Everyone knows at least some of what we've been through all over the world, yet we're still here. Colonized, enslaved, separated from family, worked to death, beaten, raped, lynched, maligned, miseducated, imprisoned, etc. We've endured immeasurable pain and have watched one another be repeatedly traumatized.
She's been miseducated, all right.
Yet without a break and without any therapeutic intervention whatsoever, we are survivors. We shouldn't have to be this.
Not by the body count in Chicago, but do go ahead.
We shouldn't have to be this strong, but mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, we are incredibly so. I'm so proud of the strength of black people, and even in my weakest moments, I draw strength from knowing I come from a people who can prevail over anything life throws at us.
Oh, really?
Which is why you're writing this Dear Diary entry, huh?
Yeah.
This one ought to be good.
Let's see. Number 9. We have a high racial IQ.
Oh, no, don't skip
No,
over our black
no.
is global, honey.
No, yeah. Good, do 8 and then
Alright.
9.
I guess it's short. 8. Our black is global. I love how everyone is black. I think it's cool how Africans, Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, and so many others are proudly proclaiming blackness.
It ain't global.
And Puerto
Go to
Ricans
Hong
are
Kong and do a head count.
Puerto Ricans are black? Aren't they Hispanic?
Well, they're good. They're
I've
plenty
written
of mestizo.
I've written about how this wasn't always the case, but to see us now coming together, and despite how diverse we are, black is our intersection. I can only see us growing stronger because of this, and I love being a part of something so great.
You are a part of nothing. Everything you are a part of is purely in your own imagination.
Number 9. We have a high racial IQ.
No, you fucking don't. You
Oh,
shut-
wait. Hold on. She's about to give us a new definition of what a racial IQ is.
Yes. As opposed to that filthy Western one.
We get it. Black people are so well acquainted with racism until realizing its presence is like a sixth sense. Whereas others may be somewhat aware, many struggle to grasp its pervasiveness, and therefore cannot attack it the way it deserves. Black people don't have to rely on second and third hand accounts, books, or statistics, but we know what we know.
Which
We
is
don't
a
need to
whole-
rely on things like facts.
She's basically claiming an entire race is delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
That's
mean,
helpful.
if she's their spokesperson, maybe they are.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's what happens when you claim to speak for millions of people who did not
Billions of people, yeah.
who don't even know that you exist.
yeah,
You tend to overgeneralize a little.
well, and they're like between different kinds of reports across the country. The average IQ of blacks ranges from between 80 and 85. And this is figuring in all of the smart ones and all of the really dumb ones. And if you put all those together, it's between 80 and 85, and that's like a level of idiocy that you can't even comprehend.
Well, that's not idiocy, but it's not near global average
No.
at
The
all.
IQ is determined so that the average is always 100. So 85 is quite a bit lower.
Yeah, it is. Burkina Faso has actually cleared the 65 mark, I think.
Wow.
One of the things I find about IQ to be extremely disturbing, people use it as both a prop and a weapon, and it is treating something again with racial collectivism to do that because it says fuck all about an individual.
Yeah.
It tells you how good they are at taking
Absolutely
IQ tests.
nothing about individuals. And that's why I don't like the weaponization of it particularly. Now, the plot pointing that Charles Murray did, there was nothing the matter with doing that. All that is a statistical curve. But it's what's done with the information that is annoying to me, both in weaponization and self-congratulation. It doesn't say anything about who you are. It's nice to know who your ancestors were and look at their accomplishments or lack thereof. But who they were says nothing about who you are.
BG says IQ tests can be thrown off by people who aren't motivated to take it seriously. Too many blacks were convinced that they will never succeed, no matter how hard they try. I've heard. I don't think that humanity is really ready to do the race IQ thing seriously.
No.
I don't believe any of the numbers I hear, because the fact is it's just too hot right now that you cannot make a serious study of it. I know that Thomas Sowell has claimed that he's done a study of it and found that there has been no difference. But I just don't. I can't tell you, because it's just too hot. There's no objectivity to be found, because every time you hear someone do a study, you hear some asshole turn around and be like, oh, that proves how brilliant our race is. All black people are stupid. No.
Yeah, that's
Can we just get that clipped?
Shit.
well, it is too hot of an issue. You saw what happened when all Charles Murray was going to do was speak. He's not making policy recommendations based on this. I have a friend who spent years doing institutional research, and they said that IQ is nowhere near the same predictor as what the SATs used to be for success in college. He said, now, there are very often correlations in IQ and SAT scores. But he said, for college admission, college retention, things like that, there are things that have to be considered. And if you erase that, all you're doing is teeing people up for the failures they have been told by many in their own community to expect. BG's not wrong. Blacks were convinced both by whites and by their own community that they were never going to amount to anything. I remember hearing Satsu talk at some length about this.
Yeah, like about like kids in the class where
And
basically being intelligent is correlated with being white, acting
Yep.
like a white person.
well, he just basically said it was you're never going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Why do you think you can? Why are you bothering? And he said, it was a matter of it was very difficult not to listen to those people. And it's
It's
extremely hard when people tell you you're never going to get anywhere. Everything's stacked against you. You're fucked. Just give in. To not give in.
yeah.
I think Aberrant Preach, which is a YouTube channel, they talk a lot about stuff like that. There's like anytime they try to do anything like academic, like, well, why are you acting white? It's like I'm not. I'm trying to better myself. It's like, but it was always seen as just acting white. Anytime you took school seriously or made any attempt to, you know, break free of the cycle, that was seen as acting white. So it's like very self-perpetuating because they don't let each other try to escape.
And that wasn't particularly a narrative within the community prior to, I'd say, 1970, when you began to see the creeping hand of race politics. Really, I mean, granted, the civil rights legislation in the United States was cynical, and that's the kindest thing I can say about it. It was necessary from a constitutional standpoint, in my opinion, but it was not done with the highest principles in mind. And there were certain social safety nets put into place that people had warned against that were going to cause disruption within the community. And it did cause those varied disruptions, which is the plague of fatherless homes we see in the community. When you reward people for being single parents, white and black people were rewarded for being single parents, mind. And Asians and Native Americans and anybody. Okay, all parents, single parent households are rewarded for this. And it had a devastating impact in the United States on the black community. The standard of living for blacks was increasing at a faster rate than whites in the 50s. Male employment was increasing at a faster rate. And then we introduced minimum wage and we introduced all these social safety nets out of the goodness of people's hearts.
I think the solution is pretty obvious. You just have home delivery for cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Solves everything.
But it's
then it would be
absolutely
like-
tragic. Though,
Then it
in
would
all
be the-
seriousness, it's tragic.
Then it would be my dad left to deliver cigarettes 10 years ago.
Yeah, no,
Fair
but
enough.
Larry Elder I know that he talks about how the social programs basically fail black people a lot, and it's honestly socialism has been or social policies in general have just been such a terrible plague on society from the beginning in all parts, in all walks. They just leave a bunch of debt and unforeseen outcomes, except that if you were really paying attention, they were perfectly foreseen. It's just that people don't like to listen to economists.
Well, also, I mean, Daniel Patrick Moynihan, who was a senator from New York, he was a liberal lion. But he had done a paper warning against the consequences of some of the social programs would encourage deadbeat dads. And he could not have been more right. And I mean, he was genuinely concerned. And I mean, I know a lot of people were incredibly well intentioned about this. I'm not saying all the people were cynical about it. There were just
Well,
certain people in
that's what
power
BG
who
in
were.
chat is saying. He's saying the
Yeah.
road to hell is paved with good intentions, and that a lot of people naively trying to help just make things worse because they don't
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right. Yeah,
People
you know what would solve the deadbeat dad problem in the black community? More abortion
reading
clinics.
this article.
Yeah.
No, but I just want the thing is that people, particularly progressives, think that money equals problem solving. If you throw enough money at a problem, it will go away.
Yeah, the
And that
Department
is
of Education is a great example of that.
and that is it is simply not true at all. It's money is an incentive, and depending on where you place it, you will incentivize different things, and not all incentives are good incentives.
The great Andrew Breitbart said politics is downstream from culture, and culture is everything. In that how values are transmitted from generation to generation, and what is considered a good person. You know, are they a person that works for what they have? Are they the culture of a country can be highly illustrative of the outcomes of the citizens that live within that culture. And when you develop a culture of dependencies and no responsibility, you actually begin to see almost community sociopathy, for want of a better term, where you can.
I just hope that on this list, big dicks is one of the bullet points.
I do hope so. We have derailed poor Frosted, haven't we?
All right.
How unusual for him.
For example, recently I was in a professional setting where someone was talking a little too loudly as they said something blatantly racist within earshot of about 10 people. There was another
What
black
he said? I'm curious as to what was actually said. Oh,
They probably
you
meant
have
to put
nice
someone on-
hair.
Well, they probably meant to put someone
Microaggression!
on a blacklist or something completely innocuous.
Did you hear
There-
that so and so was blackballed in Hollywood? Or
Yeah.
it could have been something as nondescript as, does anybody know what time it is? I left my watch at home. Because, time is like a European invention or something.
Yeah. Or maybe someone showed up on time, and that's white supremacy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Chicago is a white band.
That's right.
There was another black woman across the room from me, a total stranger who I'd only barely noticed before that moment. As soon as the comment was made, she and I immediately locked eyes and had a whole conversation in silence, with about 20 feet between us. Meanwhile, no one else even batted an eye or appeared to notice what we know they couldn't have missed.
How would she know she was busy looking at the other chick?
Yeah.
Well, they were, telepathically having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, what do you do when you're mortified? You just kind of sit there, right? What are you supposed to do? Turn the table over and go, shut up, motherfucker, and start beating the hell out of the person?
That usually works in those kinds of cities, yes.
Neither the other woman nor myself made a big to-do in that moment, but later I made my complaint known. That complaint managed to send a few ripples through the organization, which I was ultimately thanked for doing since it led to the questioning of a potentially larger issue, which could have resulted in a lawsuit that management wasn't even aware of. I hope the incident does bring about change, but without a high racial IQ and being so keenly able to identify racism, change will never happen. Black people lead in this area, and despite how we got our training, I'm glad we're knowledgeable and not among the ignorant who are still trying to catch up.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I think the potentially larger issue is just whinging black women. That's what they were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that very well may be.
Number 10. Humor is a prominent part of our culture. We are just naturally funny. And by we, I don't mean me or even some of you, but we all grew up surrounded by humor in our homes and our neighborhoods. Whether it was playing the dozens or listening to our elders tell war stories from back in the day, we just have a way of saying and doing things in the most hilarious ways.
This bitch has never said anything funny in her natural life.
Not true. I've laughed at this article.
Yeah, so have I.
Only black
Not
people have
intentionally,
known
then.
funny people.
Deliberately. Yeah.
Our humor tends to stand out from all others, since we don't tend to find just any old goofiness amusing. Once I heard Joe Rogan going on and on about how funny comedian Ms. Pat is. I'd never heard of her back then, and so I had to tune in and see what the fuss was about. Now, I mean no disrespect to my sister when I say this, but black people know a million Ms. Pats, and many are even funnier than she is.
Listen,
Again,
so unfunny are you, lady, that you actually remove the funniness wherever you go. People will be laughing in a room, and then you will enter, and they will actively stop laughing.
She walked in a room with Joy Reid, Joy would disappear.
Besides anything else, she's stupid fucking cars drowning me out.
what were you saying? What were you saying, Terry?
It's gone. It doesn't matter.
He had his and it's gone moment.
Again, no disrespect. Shoot, I'm sure Pat would say the same if asked. It's just a part of the culture most of us grew up in. I remember going to comedy.
No disrespect, but this comedian fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure she won't mind your saying that.
No disrespect, but she's inferior to us blacks.
Yeah.
I remember going to comedy clubs a lot in my 20s, and every now and then comedians who were not black would come through to practice their craft. These talented people would say they did so because they knew they could only sharpen their skills so much in other comedy spaces. But if they really wanted to get to the next level in their careers, they had to go to black clubs where laughs were harder to earn.
I'm sure that is word for word what they said, yes.
Does anybody remember when Christy Winters was dissecting a joke that Sargon made to explain?
I do. That is my favorite thing. That is my favorite thing that Christy Winters has ever done, is look up WikiHow for how to be sarcastic in text to prove that Sargon was not joking when he clearly was.
That's what this lady reminds me of. I have a feeling that she hears a joke from a white person and says, "I will now look up how the exact reason why this joke is not funny scientifically."
Right.
Number 11. We walk it like we talk it. Black people are not saints, but most of us are kind and forgiving people by nature.
As opposed to every other race, which is just made up of assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll unfortunately hold hurt and anger inside of ourselves before we'll take it out on those who have actually harmed us and have earned our outrage.
I beg your
Bear in
pardon.
mind, harmed us means by being white.
I
Does this
believe
person have-
I believe that Kenosha might have something to say about this.
Does this person have any what do you call it when you're able to see the words that are coming out of your fucking mouth and
Self-awareness?
real? Yeah. Does this person have any
Self-awareness?
self-awareness at all?
No.
A lot of times we see this as a weakness, but because we also tend to be a deeply spiritual people, I'm of the opinion that forgiveness is more in line with who we are as spiritual-leaning people than anything else.
Right.
In the little bit I've read about African spiritual traditions, I've noticed an emphasis is often placed on being kind to strangers, and even sharing your last with someone in need. Being selfless and helping others is something that seems to come naturally to many of us.
You
And
know,
nobody else.
this entire thing, I get the feeling that she is saying all this about black people because she feels that somehow these positive traits, if she says them about black people, they apply to her because she's black, when in fact she
Well,
is the
yeah.
most unpleasant, nasty, unfunny piece of shit on the face of the fucking planet.
Well, that is scientifically impossible because she's black.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see. Some have gone so far as to suggest this is why Africa was colonized, and precisely how many of us ended up being enslaved, since we
Wait,
didn't
what?
treat strangers like enemies, and were too open and kind to the wrong people until it was too late to change course.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how it happened, all right.
Yep.
Again, I want what this. I want what this chick is smoking.
We often turn the other cheek, forgive 7 times 70, love our enemies, and pray for those who despitefully use us.
Has she been on the urban streets on Friday and Saturday nights?
She probably lives in a white neighborhood that's all gated off.
Mm.
Oh.
No, she's drawing her power as she visits Africa.
It's like just putting one foot on the ground in Africa is just like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like Superman being charged by the Krypton sun, right?
Yeah, because that Tutsi and Hutu thing, that was totally live and let live.
Well, they were very
Yeah.
polite about it.
Yeah, excuse me while I cut you to ribbons.
I'm paraphrasing from the Bible since that's the religious tradition I'm most familiar with, but I know other traditions encourage the same attributes, even if I can't quote them as easily. Like everything on my list, this quality doesn't apply to all black people. Some of us have quite understandably grown weary of being taken advantage of and are purposeful in returning the energy we are sometimes given. But as a collective, I can say we are naturally kind and forgiving souls, especially in light of all that's been done to all of us all over the world. We deserve
that
all
why-
the we deserve all the accolades for not turning our hurt and anger into the destruction of societies built on our backs.
Is that why black on black crime is the highest in any area?
No, that doesn't happen.
Oh, sure, that's right. I forgot.
No. Black people are nothing but kind and loving, and they would never do something so heinous to each other. That's just reading the article. That's very self-evident.
Number 14. No word is off limits to us.
No word is off limits to me.
Whereas there are some words that cause considerable controversy when non-black people say them, we don't struggle in this area. Understanding that some will say we shouldn't say a certain word, we know that's ultimately up to us to decide, and no one can tell us not to.
But
Whether-
you don't return that favor now, do you?
Well, they're so nice. They're such a nice people that they can tell you what you're not allowed to say.
Cool.
People can tell them what they can and can't say, just like people can tell me that I can't say nigger, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop. I mean, you can ask me to, you can tell me to, but it's still my decision what I say.
Let's see. Understanding that some will say we shouldn't say a certain word. We know that. I already read that. Whether we say it or not, we and only we have the right to do so without expecting to be socked in the mouth or labeled a racist for doing so.
Oh, wait a second. Chris Rock would like a word.
Also, does she recall Al Sharpton calling New York Jaime Town?
That was Jesse Jackson.
I thought it was Al Sharpton. All right. Or
They're both assholes.
or Louis Farrakhan calling Jews termites.
That's okay. That's okay. They're beautiful. They're beautiful.
He
Yeah.
calls them termites out of love.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weird flex, I know, but I'm happy that we are the group of humans who aren't associated with lynching people while using a certain word.
Right.
She's
Whatever-
just bragging about being able to
Yeah.
use the word, but she still hasn't said which word it is.
No, you're using modern weaponry now while using the same word.
Whatever we
But, like, if
decide.
it was actually, if she legitimately thought it's fine for black people to say it, then she wouldn't be dancing around the word nigger. She'd just put it in the article. Like, what would be stopping her if black people have permission to use the word?
Wait a
Wait.
second, Terry. What if she's not really black?
I'm
We don't
sure
know
she
what she
voted for
looks like.
Biden.
We can't see her picture. Maybe she's not black at all.
She's a very light-skinned black chick, according to her picture. Because that person in the little profile picture at the top, that is her.
Yeah.
But she's got some white in there.
Rape.
Of course.
Whatever we decide to do with that word today is solely up to us. All right, and now for the final one, number 15.
Big dicks.
We don't ever feel the need to compensate for or dissociate from our race. I am being sincere. I am being sincere when I say I truly, truly feel bad for some who actively work on proving they're not consciously aligned with the ways of the dominant culture in the U.S. and the supremacy undergirding that culture.
This entire article is a compensation, is a personal compensation of your personal inadequacies.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't feel the need to compensate? You're compensating right now.
15 times she compensated.
This is all 100% scientific fact that she's been saying.
Right.
Clearly.
And where some of these people are unconsciously aligned with it, I see them struggling to break free. Such is an everyday battle with one's self, one's identity, one's family, and their communities. It's noble work, but it's also a tough row to hoe that most didn't ask for, and some desperately want to be relieved of it.
I mean, I
You're
have
a
never
weak
felt
row to
any need
hoe.
to compensate or disassociate from my race. So I'm as privileged as a black person. There you
Yeah.
go.
With the alternative being doing nothing or worse, leaning into some false sense of supremacy. I talk to people all the time who are genuinely disgusted by their own people. Since I'm so proud of mine, I can't imagine what that must feel like. No matter what we were born into, we're all infected by that dominant culture sickness to some degree, and we all are certainly impacted by it. I'm just glad black people are not born into that false supremacy mindset.
Nope, not at all.
Never once did I see. I'm so thankful that I live in a country that I can do something like this.
No one has written an article about 15 reasons why it's better to be black.
That's right.
That would be supremacy. So I'm glad that's never happened.
Yeah.
All right, and here's the conclusion. Please don't drag your feelings out in the comments, as I'm sure there are many wonderful things to be proud of in your own culture.
Well,
This
you
doesn't-
would if you could, but the medium won't let you.
Yeah. This doesn't take away from that. In fact, I encourage you to write your own list of things that make it lit to be whatever culture you are a part of and publish it in your profile.
Oh, sure.
Just so long as that
Sure.
culture isn't white.
Exactly.
Also, I'm well aware that not all black people will relate to everything on my list of reasons why it's great to be black. Heck, I don't even possess all of these attributes myself.
No shit.
This is just a general list of things I admire about things associated with blackness, which I take great pleasure and pride in being part of. Now, whether you're black or not, I encourage you to comment about the great things I should have included on this list but didn't. I left plenty of room for more to be added. When you're done sharing your thoughts, here are a few more stories I think you'll like.
Nah, I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
Skip.
Skip.
I wish I could leave a comment just so I could be like, the thing I love about my culture, I had a dad.
Damn.
That would be no more offensive than any of this stuff.
No, that's true.
You should have said reason number 16. I love being dusty.
That's Jaron Mays. This is a different person.
Oh, I know. But you got to tie them all in because apparently, according to this woman, every black person thinks the exact same. So,
Laura M. Quinu.
Yeah.
That is a ridiculous name, but I find it greatly amusing.
We established that she has a Star Trek character last name. All right. Well, that was a long one, but now it's time for our first game.
the best game.
Yeah.
See, you can't say it was a long one because Big Dicks wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
No, that's number 19.
Terry is
Okay.
terribly disappointed by this.
Yeah.
All right. And that game is Sad Libs.
Mhm.
This is the game where I take 4 headlines from Medium, take out one word, and you guys have to fill in that one word Mad Lib style. And then the chat will decide which one is best. All right, so not Jack. I need a transitive verb.
Remind me, what is a transitive verb?
It's where you do something to someone or something.
Okay, then fucking.
All right. Well, it's not ending in ing, so I'll just put fuck.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right. Moon, I need a living thing. Shut up, Jack.
How about come back to me?
All right.
Did you hear that?
What?
Thank you, son.
I got it. I got it. Son goes, it's a living thing.
I knew that was going to happen.
Damn you,
Okay.
son.
I'll go right now. How about prostitute?
All right. And Terry, I need an adjective.
I'll go niggardly because that word always amuses me.
Well, isn't niggardly a adverb?
Yes.
No, the person wouldn't lend me the money because they were quite niggardly.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
I botched the timing. I'm sorry, Chad. I botched the timing.
I was actually going to do living as my adjective until I saw that Moon actually had living thing as the subject.
All right. And Prospero, I need a transitive verb.
Oh, God.
You've had all this
Golden
time to think about one.
Pray.
Is that transitive, though?
I suppose you pray to something.
It's an activity. One prays.
But is it
Oh, yeah, but you
transitive?
don't. Yeah, but it's not. You don't pray someone.
You
You
prey
You could
on
prey
someone.
on someone.
Yeah,
But you have to change the
you
spelling.
didn't ask me how I spelled it. Prey.
I don't think that's still a transitive
Yeah,
verb.
it does because it would be you
prayed
pray on.
I preyed on the lion preyed on the hyena.
So can you just say pray on?
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Bitch slap.
All right.
I was thinking groom. If you wanted to go prey on, groom would be a.
Well, there's that. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah. and it's topical.
Let's not.
All right. So Jax is learning to fuck the bitch.
Worked out quite well.
Yeah.
That might even be the actual title.
Yeah.
All right.
God, one
and
could hope.
Moons is, what is a woman that was born a prostitute supposed to do?
I like it.
Wow, imagine being born a prostitute. That's pretty hardcore.
I was born a whore.
Yeah.
All right. And Terry's, my marriage ended and the kids are niggardly.
Wow.
Okay, so they're Jewish.
All right. And Prospero's, yes, I'm from China. No, I won't bitch slap your dog.
So presumably the original article is no, I won't eat your dog.
Yep.
Yes, sounds
Now,
like it.
If you reverse Jax and Prospero's, that would be even better. Learning to bitch slap the bitch. Yes,
I
I'm from-
thought you were going to say if you reverse Jax, I was like, learning to bitch the fuck? That doesn't work.
All right. I'm putting a poll in the chat. So, oh wait, it says there was an error. Hold on.
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Prospero's.
Don't
Yeah,
give me a mercy fuck in public.
yeah.
That's so rude.
bitch slapping your dog.
It legitimately, none of these are that great, to be honest.
No, I was going to say I'm between Moonshock and Prospero. And I think Prospero is just a little bit better.
Yeah, mine's too on the nose.
It's giving me trouble. Hold on.
Well, to be honest with you, I was thinking about using the N word for mine, but I'm like,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say the N word.
Well, if you had said nigger, I wouldn't have gone with niggardly because that would have been too repetitive.
Well, I mean, what is a woman that was born a supposed to do?
Man, the poll thing isn't working.
Is that what your girlfriend said?
Yeah.
That's right, folks. We're going with really, really quality material tonight.
All right. Well, I guess just type whoever you're voting for in the chat, I suppose.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was just typing the exact same thing. Just type A, B, C, or D.
Yeah.
In their respective order.
Yeah, Jack is A, Moonshock's B, I'm C, Prospero's D.
I'm typing exactly what you told me to do, Terry.
Prospero voted for me.
I don't vote for myself.
Wow. I'm
Well,
running away with this thing.
And Frank got a vote, so I think that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
I will vote for myself if I think it's just really honestly that good. But other than that, I try to avoid it.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it looks like it's mostly between Moon and Prospero.
I've got 8 votes so far.
Well, I ain't counting.
Well, if I knew it mattered to you so much, I'd have voted for myself.
All right. Well, I think we can call it there for Moon. So
Absolutely.
You got a sympathy vote from Son, Jack, because you didn't get to say your catchphrase.
He did
But
say
he-
it.
you did say
I
it.
did say it. I interrupted Terry saying it, but I don't think it worked because I don't know. Interrupting Terry isn't as fun as interrupting Frosted.
All right. So, on to our second article.
Oh God.
Fuck the patriarchy is for men too.
It's a living thing. See, wasn't that better?
Well, technically, we don't know what the first word is. We just know that it starts with an F and ends in a K. It could be a lot of different words.
Fork the patriarchy.
Is for men too.
Funk.
You got a good laugh out of Son up there, Jack, when you said that.
Generally, when you hear "fuck the patriarchy," people assume it's coming from a woman with feminist period blood rage.
Yes.
Well, yes, and that is true. It's
But-
always a woman, even if it's a man.
But that shouldn't be the case. In fact, I don't think we should even necessarily be picturing a woman. Why? Because the patriarchy hurts men too.
Because we're not biologists.
Okay, who is this? Who is this pussy? I gotta see who this person is.
The
Jessica
patriarchy
DeGraff.
hurts men
Of
too.
course, it's a woman.
If
do you-
the patriarchy hurts men too, then it's a pretty shit patriarchy.
Jessica DeGraff.
Yeah,
kidding.
no,
Okay.
it's because feminism is so totalitarian in nature that the problems of women, not only are the problems of women the fault of men, the problems of men must be the fault of men.
Yeah.
Men are the problem, are the cause of literally all the problems in the universe. But remember that feminism is about equality of the sexes.
Mhm.
Of course it is. It's right there in the dictionary.
It's total and utter nonsense.
I'm
It's
kind
total
of
rubbish.
triggered by all this men and women talk.
Yeah.
Is she a biologist?
I'm gonna need a definition from her on what a man is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I won't sit here and say that it hurts men just as much as women. There's inherent privilege that comes with being a man under our current systems that are
Oh,
laced
Christ.
with sexism and foster oppression.
Oh, shut up. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to say that. I cannot.
However, the damage men cause because of how they are socialized isn't limited to women and society at large. It's damaging to them as well. For the sake of ease, I'll be saying men to speak generally about cis men in this article, but I realize it doesn't
come
necessarily
the
pertain
fuck
to all.
on. Come the fuck on, you.
No. Well, the trans men were born women, so they know the oppression.
Imagine being so utterly full of yourself and so just this is pure ego to put all the world's problems, because that's what she's about to do. She's about to put literally all of the world's problems on the smallest possible demographic that she can imagine, because she knows that her audience is largely not part of that demographic. And that the few that are part of that demographic are utterly self-loathing.
Mm-hmm.
It is such an incredibly bigoted thing to do. It is so utterly malicious. It is evil. This is evil.
Yes.
Since birth, men are socialized to be strong, tough, and emotionally repressive. If men try to express their emotions or deeper thoughts to friends, they are often called a pussy, a wuss, girly, gay, etc. In short, men are told they need to be masculine and avoid femininity in order to gain respect. These
That's
toxic...
what being masculine is. That's why it's called masculinity. Is it something that's inherent to men? Or does that bother you that something is inherent to men?
Yes.
And also, men never share emotions or deeper thoughts.
Never.
No. Yeah, and remember that when it comes to men having emotions, if you are not constantly wearing your emotions on your sleeve, that means you don't have any. So you have to be like crying like a little bitch all the time in order for this woman to accept you. And by the way,
there's the patriarchy. There's the patriarchy right there. Just because somebody is highly emotive doesn't mean they're a little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
no.
it is true that a lot of these feminists, because men express their emotions differently to women, they consider, well, you're not expressing emotions how I express emotions, therefore you don't have any at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Guess what? I can be sad and simultaneously not be crying.
Yes.
That's an impossible feat. No, that
Maybe
doesn't exist.
maybe because, and here's a thought, I don't want a lot of attention drawn to me. Ooh, imagine that, a human being who doesn't want attention drawn to them. That is something that I can guarantee you this author does not understand.
No, not at all.
These toxic ideas are reinforced everywhere through parenting, advertising, books, TV shows, movies, societal norms, and even women. So what happens? Men repress their emotions and feel as though the only acceptable emotion to express is anger.
Bullshit.
I don't repress my emotions. I internalize my emotions. I think about my emotions.
She's
And I don't shout and cry about my emotions, because that's really what this is all about. You want men to cry more.
well, she's also
No, they don't.
she only has two emotions: sadness and anger. Man, her daddy fucked her up.
Hmm?
Because it's all his fault, right? You're the reason he left. It, there are other emotions besides those two. But notice she immediately defaults to anger.
Well, maybe anger is the emotion that I'm feeling. Has she ever considered that? That a man can actually legitimately feel angry about something? But no, that's a bad emotion. She wants men to feel emotions, but not the bad emotions. The emotions that she doesn't understand.
But apparently, you're also it's supposed to express love through boohooing.
Or if you're an Aerosmith, the sweet emotions.
Basically, she's saying men should cry more, and then as soon as men do cry more, what a pussy.
Yeah, she's gonna call him a pussy. She's definitely not gonna sleep with him ever. Oh man.
Aren't feminists the ones who like carry cups that say male tears?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Additionally, communication is stifled among men, and many friendships are held to surface level interactions.
Oh, God Almighty.
In result, many men lack deep relationships and emotional support systems, which often leads to unhealthy coping mechanisms, stunted communication skills, lack of emotional intelligence, and difficulty in romantic relationships.
In other words, difficulty being the woman that you want to marry.
Mm-hmm.
What's worse, men know this, but the patriarchal standards for men result in continued pressure to hurt one another and maintain an unhealthy culture.
Yeah, because nothing about what you're saying right now is unhealthy.
To pull from a recent event, after the Oscars incident involving Will Smith and Chris Rock, I found it alarming to see the amount of men who were using it as an opportunity to further emasculate Will regarding his open marriage.
There's no such thing.
Yeah. Thing about the slap is that it wasn't really instigated by Chris Rock, was it? It was instigated by his wife. You know,
Indeed.
toxic femininity.
No, she said that she didn't like it afterwards, so it couldn't have been that.
Did you guys watch that video of Jada talking to Will on a video, and she's like trying to use him to further her Instagram whatever profile?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god, the look on his face. This is an abused man. This is a man who's being taken for every last shred of dignity he has.
So
Holy shit.
She's Amber Heard creepy.
Yeah, pretty much.
There were so many "he lets other men fuck his wife but won't let them joke about her" type of comments. And
Well,
this
that is an irony worth pointing out.
And this was after he just exuded his masculinity and acted as the protector by physically assaulting someone.
That wasn't masculine at all. The way he did that.
No,
that was a bitch slap.
Yeah,
he was
if
being
anyone
a bitch when he did that.
Yeah, if anyone looked masculine in that scenario, it was Chris Rock, who took
Yeah.
it extremely well and in stride.
Most of the time, it's other men you see telling each other to suck it up and don't be a bitch. It's even an ongoing joke. It's even an ongoing joke on sitcoms that when a guy starts opening up to his friend will balk at him and make a joke about him getting too deep.
And
Yeah,
sitcoms are made exclusively by right-wing masculine men, and not the soy boys that everyone makes fun of.
and when a man opens up in front of a woman on a sitcom, she reacts totally like, "Oh, I'm here for you. I'm supportive of you."
Also,
It's not a joke that she'll become disinterested in him immediately.
and who would have thought that a sitcom would use an opportunity to make a joke?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. How dare they?
I think jokes are illegal in 2022, though. So there's that.
Men also pressure one another to sleep with women and talk about them and or treat them disrespectfully. It's as though disrespect towards women earns respect among men.
So I think this is the typical thing where she considers men to be the subgroup of men that she actually wants to have sex with.
Yes.
Like 99% of men are not like this, but the ones she wants to fuck are. So she's just extrapolating that to everyone.
Yeah.
Or they're putting on an act to chase her away because, ew.
Well, there's that too.
Think about how often you've seen movies and shows with men hanging out and bad-mouthing their spouses. The old ball
Women
and
never
chain.
badmouth men, incidentally. Not once.
No,
No,
never.
I've never, ever, ever heard it.
Yeah.
It's not even a trope.
Yeah, as an official female Prospero, have you ever heard any fellow women bad-mouthing men?
Yes. Yes.
Well, obviously you're lying.
Well,
No.
she's surrounded by men, so she's not safe to tell her truth.
You're right. I'm absolutely terrified at this moment about telling my truth.
Somebody shut that woman up.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you tell me to shut up because I'm a woman, son, we gonna have words. But
You're being hysterical, slap.
yeah, I'll show you hysterical, knee to the nuts.
By the way, this woman has only 3 followers on Medium.
Oh, okay. Well, this isn't going to garner her very many more.
I'm afraid that's probably not true. I think this is exactly what will garner her more followers.
Yeah, like frosted glass.
Yeah, God damn it.
Are you one of those 3, Frosted?
She's not good enough for me to follow. She's not a Jaron Mays or anything.
Quit encouraging these people.
It's as
Well,
though
you have to encourage them. They're the material for the show.
There's that.
It's as though it's a faux pas to admit you have deep feelings for a woman, are serious about her, or God forbid you love her.
Here's an idea. Maybe you can have the deep feelings and just not talk about it. Wow! Holy shit! You can have feelings that you don't express to other people?
No, Jack. That's not how women do it, so it's wrong.
Yeah. Think about that for a second. Men are socialized to not even show outward happiness about love, like they're not even supposed to be full beings.
What?
Men are expected to suffer in silence and then put on a face and act macho or masculine in front of their bros, even if it's not how they really are or how they want to be. To make things worse, therapy and other mental health treatments have stigmas of their own for men in particular, which is getting better, but still. So if a man needs help developing healthy coping skills, processing emotions, talking to someone safe, etc., he often doesn't seek help because he knows he'll catch grief for it, or feel shame for not being strong enough to do it on his own.
All right, this blind hog may have actually found an acorn. There is some truth to that. There's her little pat on the back. Accidentally stumbled over Now go back to racking on men.
This toxicity makes me frustrated for a number of reasons, but it also breaks my heart to think of how lonely and isolating it must be for
Oh, we
men.
can tell that this tone of the entire article is very sympathetic. You can just feel it exuding off the page.
The,
Well,
the decades of men before them set up systems, expectations, and norms that are so damaging, even traumatizing, yet men
Oh,
haven't broken free from it, from each
my
other.
fucking God. Do you know why most behavior is the way it is? Mate attraction is a huge aspect of evolutionary psychology and behavior. They did
Yeah.
all these things because women approved of it.
It's
Now
almost,
women have withdrawn their approval and they don't know what to do.
it's almost like women don't really like a guy who like cries all the time.
Yeah, it kind of interrupts that go out and hunt while I gather.
It's because feminism has not encouraged good societal behavior. It has encouraged women to seek out other women in total contrast to their biological desire to seek out men.
Uh-huh. Yes. It is the great lesbian mill.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just lesbianism, it's narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
Feminism is like the epicenter of a fantastical narcissistic movement within Western culture.
Yeah, it also ascribes, as most of these collective groups do, to the notion that evolution stops at the neck. Men do oh so many of the things that they do because it garners approval from women.
Men are going to have to lead the dismantling of the patriarchy, and it's going to take a group effort to do it. So let's talk about community. It seems that men don't really have an overarching community. I think that's partially due to the fact that men, particularly white men, have had the
How
privilege of
dare
not
us be white?
have had the privilege of not needing to be a part of a tight-knit community in order to survive. The oppressed often have to band together to make it and will support one another.
Not band together. They have to ban things as a group.
Yeah. Yeah, and human behavior it would indicate otherwise, but that's okay. Dog eat dog behavior comes out in strong competition. So
Yeah, and
whatever.
groups of women always go perfectly well.
Oh
They
God! Oh
always
yes!
get along perfectly.
Oh yes! It is wonderful to be utterly surrounded by women. Please demand a proof of life video tomorrow. Jesus Christ! God! God! Oh God! Oh! Ah!
Oppressors, on the other hand, not so much. Another reason is that men are expected to survive on their own and be strong. So why would they need a community?
The most oppressive individuals currently in the world in which this woman swims are women. Are the weaponized cunts like this woman who
But you
are
only need to look at the gender edition of Survivor to see just how well women bond as a group.
God damn women are horrible at things like that. I mean, yes, we can be usually when we're of a certain age and not in competition for money or a guy or something.
But not even
Be
that.
highly cooperative, but that's usually a particular type of woman in a more settled state who is
No, it wasn't even that. It was like when the men's island, they basically, this guy's the leader because that's how it was determined. He organized everything, whereas the women were just like, lounging around on the beach. No one wanted to be the one to actually do anything.
Yes.
No one was gonna order anyone to do anything, and because they
They'd
don't
all
have that sort of
starve.
hierarchy set up.
They would all starve. Yeah, they
Did. No, they did. The producers of the show had to mix the islands, like the groups together, because the women were dying, and without intervention, they would have all died on that island.
Yeah, I mean, my first job would have been to build a raft and get the fuck to the men's island.
But one of the things that happened was they had this container, and like the contents of it spoiled, so they just threw it away. They didn't try and clean it; they just threw it away. And so the people running the show had to say, "You do not have enough water to throw half of it away. You have to clean that out, or you will die." And they had to be that direct with the women. It's like, no, you can't just throw shit out. We gave you exactly as much as you need to survive. Go clean it.
Build a fire, boil the water.
But they would have died free of patriarchy.
Yes, they
That's
would.
true.
They would have. Camille Paglia said years ago, if civilization had been left up to women, we'd still be living in mud huts. That was optimistic on her part. That was assuming that there would be women like her who would just be like, okay, fuck you bitches, and just would get to work. But if it had just simply been left to win, no, we're fine the way we are. The fruit falls off the tree, we catch it and we eat it. You know, their life expectancy would be about 13 or 14 years, but you know, it's just.
Well, they didn't know how to boil water because they didn't have any smart devices that told them how.
That's why so many progressives are child groomers, is because they're preparing for a life living under women.
I mean, it's an unfortunate truth for the people who want to believe otherwise, but men are better suited for survival than women are. It's just
like Keeverdam says, oh my God, you're so bitchy. Yeah. yes, I am.
She's very salty.
All I would want to do is get to the island with a man on it. I mean, I'd be like, okay, Lars, Olaf, get busy. I'll tend the fire. Really, it's division of labor based on skills.
Yeah.
And hierarchies exist for a reason.
Well, thing is, Prospero, I'm going to say we because you and I are pretty similar in age. We are of a different kind of generation where things weren't so easy to get. You didn't have smart devices when we were kids.
Yeah, no kidding.
You actually had this thing called outside.
You didn't have smart devices when I was a kid.
You bent a finger backwards and you immediately started noticing the knuckle swelling. You broke a clothespin in half, got some adhesive tape, and made a splint. Yeah, you know, I mean, that's what you did. You know, you did. You just it's nobody was wrapped in cotton batting.
Yeah, and each generation. Not at all. I mean, there are some exceptions. I will admit that, but with each generation, it seems like they become more and more pussified.
It's why Middle America. I mean, the flyover states, farm like. Why do you think there's a whole romantic genre on the farmer and the cowboy? It's because people who still work the land know how to fix their own truck, that kind of shit. There is something highly appealing to competency. I don't know if you guys remember, there was an article recently by some little non-cis person who a repair man came in to fix the HVAC in their dorm room, and they weren't prepared for this, and it triggered them.
What?
I remember that.
They fell apart. And it was like, that person is so intimidated by competency. They are so subliminally aware of their own incompetency.
Are these the same kind of pansy ass little bitches that need cry rooms?
Yes, the same. Yes. Those it was probably some fucker in Oberlin, okay? Because
I saw this video on YouTube. Like, it was a guy making fun of a TikTok video, and the girl was crying because there were crickets in her house, and she read on the internet that it's bad luck to ask them to leave.
Why?
And so like,
Ask
how do I get rid of them? How do I convince them to leave without getting bad luck?
Oh my god!
Did they
give
eat her?
up. I hope they did.
It's bad luck to kick them out. That's what it is. So she's like, how do I ask them to leave so that I don't get bad luck?
Unbelievable.
I scoop them up in cups. If like the regular black chirpy crickets, not the camelback crickets, the ones that can leap like 8 feet in the air and hang upside down under furniture. There are
Yeah,
those.
you know what?
Those I kill, squash, dead if I can catch the motherfuckers. But the little black crickets, Garrick, inside your house, doink out the door. I scoop them up in a cup. I try
And
not.
how many years of bad luck have you had from kicking out the crickets?
I don't know.
But did you ask them nicely to leave though?
No, because they're bugs.
No, they're Jack. Go ahead and say it. They're living thing, but
Did you hear that? She kicks out the black crickets.
she kicks
right.
out the blacks.
And I kill all the brown ones.
Oh,
wow.
Oh dear.
You are so
Oof.
racist.
That's very
I
problematic.
think Prospero needs to replace Frosted as the host. I think she's
I've reached peak cricket racism.
Yes,
Yeah.
those African American crickets. I tell you,
Those little camelback motherfuckers, they were horrible.
Camelback. Oh, see, that's even worse.
Well, that's what they're called because they have weird little humped backs. They're creepy as shit. They look like jumping spiders.
They're called Muslims.
No.
Stop calling them camelbacks.
They're
Wow.
not Muslim crickets. You'd hear the noise incessantly. Oh God, set your clock. The imam camelback crickets up in the tower.
The camel imam.
Have you noticed that at the same time every day they all face one direction? All right.
I never looked at them that carefully. I'm just too busy trying to kill them.
One thing that's interesting to me is that, in general, it seems like only times men get together to discuss issues, it's to express misogyny and to bash women.
No, it's not. Oh my god, this woman is a fucking retard.
This is why you see the "stop giving men microphones" trend online. It's strange to me that men use these opportunities to hate on women versus discussing the toxicity of the patriarchy and all of the struggles it brings.
Yeah, that's a conversation I really expect a couple of guys to have. You know, you want to go fishing, Fred? Yeah, sure. 3 hours later, sitting on a log on the side of the river, bait in the water, everything's cool. Hey, about that patriarchy. Jesus Christ, your friend would drown you and tell your family they didn't know what happened.
You'd get the Fredo treatment.
No kidding.
Then
It
when-
would be like,
then when the
we're
fish
going out
gets-
in the boat.
Then when the fish gets away,
Chris
you
Climate
cry.
treatment. What's that?
But
God.
men
Oh,
could
God.
wait.
We killed the fish.
The line
Men
got
could-
snapped. I can't handle this.
Men could be addressing struggles with mental health, feelings of isolation and lack of support, and educating one another on how to stop toxic masculinity and bad behavior towards women and each other.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
One thing that gives me hope is that we are starting to see shows like Ted Lasso, starring Jason Sudeikis on Apple TV Plus, which
Oh,
challenges
yeah.
which challenges toxic masculinity by encouraging teamwork, communication, supportive male friendships, and tackles some of men's struggles with mental health, seeking help in therapy.
How the fuck does she think the cathedrals of Europe were built? I mean,
Magic.
yeah, because teamwork, communication, supportive
Only
males.
women have those attributes, Prospero.
It's just, excuse me, but civilization doesn't get built by happenstance.
What you need to understand is that men are broken women and that feminism can fix them.
Right, so we can all live in mud huts.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but in terms of the ability of philosophies to produce things, this woman's philosophy produced The Last Jedi.
Yes.
True.
and Admiral Purple here, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I can't park a spaceship. Um,
Prospero, the Force is female. Okay.
Well, as material as that bitch is, yes. Light on one side, dark on the other. Yeah. But I still think it's duct tape.
Breaking away from societal norms and going against the grain will have its challenges, of course. When I see men exude actual bravery and call other men out for bad behavior, the typical response from the guy who's acting appallingly is to call him a simp, or say things like, "She's not gonna sleep with you, bro."
Both true statements.
Yeah.
Men who do this
Totally
only call themselves out, as it shows they wouldn't likely stand up for a woman unless there's something in it for them sexually.
No, I don't think that a man would do something like that unless they stood to benefit from it sexually. I think that a male feminist would do that if they stood to benefit from it sexually.
Yeah, cuddle
I mean,
fishing.
the,
They'd be
the
a
whole
cuddlefish.
the whole point of telling people not to be a simp is telling them not to do something just to get sexual benefits.
Yeah, basically.
And there is no reason that a man would do feminism other than that.
Yeah, because he's hoping to get there before the other guy does. What the?
The non-toxic men realize this, but I'm sure it gets frustrating. My point is, transitioning away from how one is socialized and attempting to dismantle the patriarchy from within isn't easy, but it's necessary. These men are going to get pushback from toxic men to varying degrees. If it's online, there could be bullying involved, etc.
There's no such thing as online bullying.
Yeah, that online bullying. Ooh.
Just block them if you don't like it.
Ooh, he said a mean word to me. Ooh.
Your mommy wears army boots.
So it's important to follow supportive, non-toxic men and try to root yourself in a growing community that is healthy, encourages the changes you're trying to make, and challenges the way we've all been socialized under the patriarchy.
God.
And this is only article number 2.
I know, really.
Don't worry, the next one is short.
Thank Christ.
I'm going to skip to the conclusion. All right. What's the takeaway?
Men suck.
Men should be invested in dismantling the patriarchy, as it is incredibly harmful to them as well. The way men are socialized results in emotional repression, lack of support, lack of community, treating one another badly, holding each other to ridiculous standards, and more. Men need to work together to start challenging these norms and addressing their own issues so they may break free of a system that relies on the unhealthy culture which they uphold.
Where?
The one that got us where we are, right? The one that brought us the light bulb and HVAC systems and clean water and a functioning civilization until you crazy cunts came along and decided it needed to be dismantled.
Without actually being literal leeches on the system, how do these people even bother to survive outside of their own bubble?
Either a trust fund or actual leeches on the system.
Because these, just the way they talk, they live in this unrealistic utopia that they have built up in their minds.
Mm-hmm. They're all unicorn farmers.
Yeah, and they're like, everybody has to think like me, and if they don't, then it's like, oh, you just support the patriarchy, or they just if somebody does not agree with them.
Yeah, correct, because not agreeing with them is bullying.
Yeah, they act like all those fucking degenerates. When Trump got elected, they all act like them. Didn't get elected, then they just scream up into the air like a bunch of pussies that, like, they're like little kids that didn't get what they wanted. and nothing is going to change until I get what I want. So they just continue to complain and complain. And Medium is like they're like soapbox.
Well, I've been saying it for almost the entirety of this show. Medium is probably just like a what do you call it? A therapy journal for these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It
it's
really
like
is.
it's all Dear Diary.
It's a therapy journal for crazy bigoted narcissists.
Well, this to me is like I'm building so many castles in the sky, in the air, or in the sky, that these people just live in their own little pretend world.
Yes, because they're figments of their own imagination.
Yeah. It just amazes me that these people are so disillusioned by everything that they read and believe that they actually live their lives based off of this and expect other people to be just like them.
Well, if you're raised wrapped in cotton batting, where everybody gets a trophy and nobody has an unhappy moment, and your feelings are of primary importance from the moment you first spit up on the towel over mommy's shoulder because dad's out for cigarettes. You end up like this. You
That's
end up
right.
an egoist.
Yeah.
And displaying just remarkable personality disorders.
Frosted, why do you do this to us?
For responses like that. All right.
God.
Just hang a sign around this woman's neck. Does not play well with others.
That's right. Because if you put one of those signs on her back, she'd probably complain like you hit her in the back or something.
No,
Act like those soccer players that when somebody just blows on the back of their
Yes.
ear, they fall down like somebody just smacked them over the head with a hammer.
I'd hang a sign on her like the bad guy does in Die Hard 3.
The sandwich board that says "I hate ya."
Yeah. All right. Well, with the end of the second article comes the second game, which is for the chat only, not Jack. And that is the caption contest, where I'll give you a photo of a political figure or event, and the chat has to come up with a caption, and whichever one we like the best, I'll tweet out after the show.
Oh, if this is the one I think it is, then yeah.
Wait a second. I don't see my name at the bottom.
Oh, get rid of Johnny Hellcat. We'll give him a pass this time.
Jack.
All right. Well, this week's photo is Joe Biden getting ignored because Obama's visiting the White House.
That
I
was
love this.
That was so delicious. I want seconds.
I remember seeing the people in the comments are like, "You didn't play the full context of the clip," and then they put like an additional 30 seconds around it, and it looks just as bad.
Old man wanders around looking for the tapioca pudding.
And then is this picture right here before or after he went up to Obama, put his hand on Obama's shoulder, and Obama just kind of brushed it off?
I saw that too.
Yeah. And when they showed that one, eventually Obama does turn around because Joe Biden is physically touching him, and then he glad hands one person for about 2 seconds, like the bare minimum amount of time that he could theoretically talk to them, and then turns around and leaves.
Yeah, and in this one, and this is the one where like Biden, he's just kind of like, what's going on here? Nobody wants to talk to me. I'm the president. And the fact that the president of the United States is wandering around being ignored by everyone.
All right. Oh God, the sedatives didn't kick in.
Where'd Bo run off to?
Jill get Joe's caretaker. He got loose again.
Barack Barry Hayton.
Where will you be when diarrhea hits?
Okay, We
That's a
have
good
a
one.
front runner.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's awesome.
What? Why are you guys going over there? The ice cream's over this way.
Yeah. Mommy, can I have some ice cream?
Can you look me in the back of the head while fucking me, Barry?
Oh. Diarrhea one's still winning.
Yes.
He's very clean and articulate.
I like that one.
I know. Every time I see him after the whole supposed incident at the Vatican, it's like Grandpa Shark, Grandpa Shark.
Was there ever any actual evidence that happened, or is it still kind of just like
It's kind of just a rumor, but it's just what a timeline, man! What a damn timeline.
Mom, Grandpa's mumbling again.
Mm.
You know,
Also,
this picture
he
almost looks-
farted in front of whatever member of royal family in England.
Mhm.
in his defense, I would too.
Kamala, it was Kamala.
Do I need a new
Apparently.
diaper?
Do I need a new diaper?
You know, you can look at this picture and almost swear it almost looks like Obama. Biden was photoshopped in there.
Yes, it does.
If you made it blurrier, it would look like a photo of Bigfoot. All right, I'll give it another 10 seconds or so.
Biden saw a kid.
That's pretty good.
They did mention a bathroom incident, but they didn't confirm he crapped himself.
Where'd my nurse go? Where am I? I made boom boom.
I like that. I made boom.
I've never heard that term used before, but it's hilarious.
It's perfect.
I sniffed Pelosi's hair. Smells like cheap vodka and expensive ice cream.
All right. Well, I think I'll cut it off there. So, which one do you guys like best?
I don't think anyone topped Mr. Dax.
Yeah, I'd have to give it to Mr. Dax in this case.
What will you do in diarrhea? I agree.
Dante is in a second, but they're kind of related.
All right.
Dante's was a bit too wordy for me. I like the simplicity of Mr. Dax's.
Grandpa shark do 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 do.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'll agree with Mr. Dax. So, congrats, Mr. Dax, on winning this week. And I'll copy that down so I can tweet it out after the show.
Rigged.
James Colley says rigged.
No, Jack didn't win.
No, Dunsky didn't win.
Yeah, I didn't even participate this week.
Yeah, you're forbidden. That's why.
It's right there on the screen.
It says not Jack Gunsky, so theoretically everyone here is not Jack Gunsky. So
Well, you are specifically.
technically all participation is illegal now.
I'm Jack Gunsky, and says my wife.
I'm horrified by all the patriarchy.
Patriarchy.
There.
Is that Pelosi behind him?
Yes.
Okay. Even she snubbed his ass. Wow.
Frosted's belabored moaning about having to put quote marks.
All right. Well, now it's time for our third article from our old pal Jaron Mays.
Oh, that dusty coon.
White
He
woman
means cheese, Susan. He means cheese.
White woman stabs Nigerian to death, and I don't feel sorry for him. Here's why.
What? Yeah, because he's a Nigerian. So what?
Be careful what you wish for. There's an old saying that I'm sure a lot of us heard many times in our lives. Be careful what you wish for. Well, this latest tragedy symbolizes that phrase perfectly well, and I want to break this down in hopes to give you a perspective that you can take with you.
Oh, I can't wait.
She liberated the man of his life. There you go. That's all she did.
So there's this story out of Miami, Florida, where a 27-year-old Nigerian man named Christian Toby Abumsili was
Your
was
name is Toby.
Oh my God.
I'm Toby.
I mean it is
I'm Toby.
was stabbed to death by his white girlfriend named Courtney Clenny over an alleged domestic dispute. Oh, son like that one.
Oh yeah.
Now of
I'm,
course
like, powerful.
Now, of course, a lot of people read the headlines, and this sent Black Twitter into an outrage, calling it unjust, especially since the white woman decided to pull the mental health card as an excuse for what she did.
Poor Toby.
But here's where it got really interesting for me that a lot of people don't know about. Apparently, this brother, Christian Toby Abumsili, has a long history of verbally attacking foundational Black Americans on Twitter,
So he's a race traitor, so it's okay that he died.
calling us
Absolutely.
akadas and all that type of
What?
stuff.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
I looked it up, and apparently it's like a slur that like actual Africans use for like African Americans.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Oh well, okay. Then I guess I'm okay with that.
We'll have to get Elon Musk to start using it.
She should have pulled the OJ card. It wasn't me.
That's also the Shaggy card.
Toby was his slave name.
Jaren hates black people who call other black people slurs.
Yeah.
And this dude certainly showed no love towards black women when he had an abundance of heart-eyed emojis for the white women.
What?
He's a race traitor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, get over yourselves. You hate Toby just because he has a good name like Toby.
Yeah. So they show a bunch of tweets of him saying that he loves white chicks. Not the movie. But, all right. Now to be clear, I'm not here to justify or say that I'm happy about the incident, because I'm not. I don't want to see any black person get hurt.
Why don't you just say I don't want to see anyone get hurt? Why you have to be specific?
Because it's
he
probably
does want white people to die.
because that's
Oh,
probably
of
not
course.
true.
Dickhead.
But when you make disparaging remarks towards other black people, especially to the ones who gave you the opportunity to come into America, you are going to have a
Except
very
Karen
hard
Hayes
time.
has never called anyone a coon or a nigger.
Mhm.
You are going to have a very hard time getting any sympathy from me. That's the problem with a lot of you non-FBA people. Not all of you, but some of you.
FBA.
You abandon your native countries and want to come into ours. You want to reap the benefits that foundational black American ancestors fought for. And
Oh
when
God, is that what that means? Foundational Black America. Oh my God.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's fulfillment by Amazon.
The more
Oh, I
Wheels
didn't know
Kangs
Amazon
people.
sold them still.
More
Mr.
Wheels
Dax.
Kangs people.
Mr. Dax, you are incorrect. White Chicks is not greater than Tron Legacy. You shut your language right there, buddy boy.
We need to ask Garrett Hedlund, see if he can get him back in chat.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's apples and oranges. White Chicks is a comedy, and Tron Legacy is a superhero movie.
No, it's not.
Why are you so shocked at me saying it?
I killed Moon.
You trying to kill my ass? Shut up! It's not funny.
Well,
He's gonna cry like a titty baby.
well,
He's
it's
gonna
a
cry. What are you gonna cry? Go on, cry.
well, it's
Fuck all
official.
you.
It's official. Jack murdered Moon's ass.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time something killed a body part of his.
Not all of you, but some of you. You abandon your native countries and want to come into ours. You want to reap the benefits that foundational black American ancestors fought for. And when you get here, you disrespect us, you belittle us, and you suck up to your oppressor. Then when those same white people that you suck up to decide to turn on you, you expect us to come to your defense. No, we ain't playing that game anymore. Those days are over. From now on, these other groups are just going to have to hold their own nuts.
What? Oh, okay.
Prospero,
What?
Prospero, you're gonna have to hold your own nuts, okay?
That elevated. That really. Wow.
That escalated quickly.
Well, that's a common saying, isn't it? You know, you're gonna have to
I mean,
hold
that
your own
really
nuts.
got out of hand fast.
Holy shit, that article was short.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
God damn.
Uh,
What is that,
Well-
like a 30-second read? If no one's talking about it?
well, we did have a very long first one, so
Yeah.
Mm.
all right.
God.
But with the end of that one
Terry's
comes the
favorite.
best game of the night,
No.
No.
Agreed.
and that
Even
is
Prospero said no.
None of these are best.
Poe or No Gender Edition.
Yay.
All right,
We're
look
all-
in the
Where I'll give you 3 genders, two of
See?
which are from the LGBTIA wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and one I made up. And you have to figure out which one is made up.
Can
See?
someone just shoot me?
See.
And I'll even give you short descriptions of each gender. All
I
right,
still say
so
C.
gender A, alkali gender,
What? Oh my god.
science gender that feels like an alkali metal. It is extremely
Science.
it is extremely explosive and comes and goes quickly.
Does this mean that I can inject sodium straight into your veins?
Science.
yes, it does.
Hey, sodium is important.
Yes, indeed.
Potassium chloride, on the other hand.
Gender B, sim gender,
Ooh.
game gender that
it
tends to
Sims
only
what you think?
appear when playing The Sims.
Oh.
Oh, Sim, not Sim. Okay.
I was hoping that would have talked about SimCity because then I would totally be SimGender.
No, if it was Dalsim from Street Fighter, then maybe that'd be real.
All right, and gender C, emo cat gender.
See.
Xenogender identity that mixes cat gender and emo choric together.
Emo core. Oh my god. See.
Emo cat gender. Why do I get the feeling that there at least there's a DeviantArt account with a lot of pictures on it related to
Checkalogic
this
wants
gender?
know. Checkalogic says, "Didn't you already do SimGender?"
I don't believe so. All right. So unfortunately, chat is still messed up for some reason, so I can't do a poll. So I mean, you could just type which one you think is fake in chat. Don't forget, one of the options is that they're all real.
See.
Dante says sim gender sounds familiar. I gotta be honest with you. I feel like I've heard it somewhere too.
Q contender or continuum says SimGender was already used. Okay, so it's between A and C. Got it.
Well, we don't know if they mean it was used as a fake one or a real one.
I
Like,
mean, but
you
what are
might
the
have
odds
grabbed
that
the same-
Frosted would come up with a fake one? Would come up with the exact same fake one twice?
Will says frosted glass is fake.
So I'm gonna say that
See.
I'm gonna say all are real. Well, no. That's getting played out. I'm gonna say A
See.
because I totally buy that emo cat gender is real, and I totally think that there's a DeviantArt account attached to that web page somewhere, and it's got a picture. It's got like this autistic fucking like Sonichu level picture of an emo cat girl.
All right, so A, Moon, you said C. Terry?
Mhm.
Well, if we've established that SimGender is real, as chat seems to have done, I'm going to go they're all real.
All right. Prospero?
I'm torn between all and Please tell me alkali gender isn't real. That's the one I think is fake. I just can't if that's.
I mean, it would make the most sense if it was the fake one, because would you expect any of these people to know anything about science?
No.
Mhm.
They're not biologists. That would be chemists. They are not that either.
Well, come on. Lately, the whole thing is trust the science. So
Mm.
Yeah, except when the science
it's completely.
says stuff they don't want to hear.
God, I gotta say, this past couple years has totally and utterly shaken my faith in anything a scientist says at all. And perhaps and that might be for the best, but to be honest, you need a certain amount of faith in science in order to function in society.
I believe in weird science. That was original.
All right, and
Yeah.
so again, since the chat isn't working, I can't type back. But Johnny Hellcat, I see that you sent a DM. I'll check it after the show. All right. Well, I don't know. I see a lot of A's in the chat. So
Maybe
I'm
they're
going
just
to-
Canadian.
So I'm gonna guess that they're leaning towards A.
I think so.
All right. But before I reveal which one is real, I just want to say that I was hurt last week that you guys would assume that I would do all real the week of April Fool's Day.
Oh no.
Oh God, he did all
Oh
fake.
no.
He did all fake.
However, doing it the week after is definitely something I would do. They're all real.
Bastard. You bastard.
I got it right.
Kill me.
You son of a bitch.
I'm calling in sick next week, fucker.
You piece of shit.
Well, I
maybe-
knew emo cat
I-
gender had to be real. That was just.
Yeah, it's too.
Fine. Show us the flags.
Hate your fucking guts, you
I was
sack
so
of
ha-
shit.
I was so happy you changed it.
Sack of shit. Hate you.
All right.
I'm turning into the guy from what's his name
Yeah,
from
I-
the Pink Panther movies,
Oh,
Inspector
yeah.
Dreyfus.
Yes.
Kill.
God,
right.
Herbert Lom was so good in that role.
So let's take a look at the flags. So first we have alkali gender, which is incredibly boring. But don't worry, they get better.
No.
Oh God,
Oh God.
that hurts my eyes.
Yeah. It's like an assortment of colors that you would paint a dentist's office waiting room.
Yes.
Looking at it makes me sad.
If you turned your contrast dial in any way, that would probably blend in perfectly.
You know what it looks like?
Or it's a
it looks
color
like-
blindness test.
Yes.
I was
yes,
gonna
exactly.
say it looks like one of those color tests they have at the beginning of older video games to adjust the contrast until you can see the lightest bar or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and here's a sim gender.
This is just making me sad.
Oh, they have the plum. What is that called? The
Plum bob.
They're
Yeah.
Plum bob, yeah.
All right, and
They
I
don't know that, but
I don't know if you're ready for the last one,
Yeah.
Oh no!
but
If this has got a
it's-
flying toaster, Pop Tart cat or
on
whatever.
a scale, Frosted, before you post it, on a scale of 1 to 10, how autistic is this? 10 being Sonichu level.
it's kind of great in an ironic way. All right,
Okay.
all right, and there's emo cat gender.
Oh, that looks not bad. Sort of. I don't dislike it.
I expected it to be more autistic. I'm a little disappointed.
Evolve
What'd you
Potato
say?
was pointing out that
Son goes,
him and me,
what is wrong with you?
him and me are the only two who got the answer right. So Aussie Pride.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do without the pentagram, but I don't mind it.
Well, it's emo cat gender, Moon.
Oh,
Where would the emo be? Think, Moon. Think.
Gross.
Yeah,
All right.
like Hugh Kinnan said, remove the pentacle and.
But the pentacle is part of what makes it so ironically great.
I know, but you have two combating themes there, and it looks horrible with that.
Well,
there.
the whole gender is two other genders crammed together, so that's on brand.
Dante says emo cat gender look like goddamn goth femboys. Don't get my hopes up, Dante.
You know how
Now,
Jack
is that-
loves goth femboys.
Is that pink line on the emo cat one like I cut myself?
All right. Well, it's time for our final article, which I'm not even going to tell you the title of. Just because I want a slow reveal.
Oh dear God! Why? Why do you do this to us?
All right.
Because it's fun.
But I'll just tell you that it has to do with the oppression of the transgenders.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh no.
All right.
oh my God! They're talking about Elton.
According to an October 2019 study from the Williams Institute titled LGBT Poverty in the United States, almost 30% of all transgender people and bisexual women reported earnings that were less than the federal poverty level.
Who cares? And by that, what I mean is,
people do.
what I mean by that is, you don't have to differentiate yourself as far as your preferences when you're concerned about the poverty level. Nobody gives a shit. You are below the poverty line or you're above it. Who gives a crap what orientation you are? Seriously, here. This has
No. That's not how this is done.
This has fuck all to do with
Correlation is always causation.
Oh God, I
That's
fucking hate you, Frosted. I really do.
And you ask why I do this to you.
Oh my God, you are triggering the fuck out of me with this article here.
Science said so.
Oh, just wait till we get to the good part. We haven't even gotten to the reveal yet. All right. The study also showed that 38.5% of black transgender people, 48.4% of Hispanic transgender people, and 35.2% of all other races of transgender people were living well under that federal poverty line level.
So
Probably because they spent all their money on hormones.
And
are we actually counting in the tens now?
no,
Yeah, there are about like 5 people in each category.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because aren't they less than 1% of the entire population?
Once
Less
upon
than
a
half a
time.
percent.
Yeah,
Less
yeah,
than
and
half a
we're,
percent.
we're talking about a community of what, maybe a couple thousand tops.
I have a proposal for you.
I'm
Maybe
not going to marry you, Jack.
maybe people who have
You just squander your
significant
money.
maybe people who have significant psychological disorders have difficulty maintaining a job.
I don't
Couldn't
know.
be.
How could this be?
Wow, amazing.
Taking these frightening numbers into account, it makes the $50 a year price point AEW Heels charges even more egregious.
What the hell
What
is
is
that?
AEW Heels? Is that like a shoe shop?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll find out. It's also gatekeeping. On the average, AEW Heels costs $420 per month.
Oh no.
What?
That's quite a decent.
Oh no. Oh no.
If you
I
looked
think
it
I'm
up,
starting.
if-
I'm getting an inkling as to what Frosted said about this. the
if you looked it
article
up,
title.
don't say anything. All right.
I
on
did
the
I
average-
did look it up, but I'm starting to get an idea of what this article is going to be about.
That's quite a decent value, and what a Heels member gets for that price definitely offsets any possible issue with the initial $50 price point.
What?
If you see that above statement and have no problems with it, congratulations on being financially privileged enough to believe that.
What? Oh my God.
Transgender women, primarily non-white transgender women, most often don't have that financial privilege to throw away $50 at once. When considering the federal poverty level for 2022 is set at $13,590, and most trans women live well under that, $50 might as well be $500.
You are choosing to live that way.
And
I don't care.
Now let's get to the next, because there's gonna be a line at some point where it kind of clicks. I just know it.
And the high price point isn't the only barrier transgender women face when wanting to become a member of AEW Heels. A vast majority of transgender women of color living well under the poverty level are gatekept from financial institutions that charge higher premiums for accounts with little to no active funds in those accounts. And not having an active bank account is only the first part of the larger issue. To pay the $50 price point, one needs a credit card or access to a PayPal account. Both of those services requiring items, once again, a number of marginalized trans women do not have. The AEW Heels events and virtual meet and greets require a working and decent internet connection, something numerous marginalized trans women lack access to.
Come on, I'm holding out. I'm holding
Well,
out. I know.
you
What
can
the
see at the bottom of the screen. It's a wrestling team.
What?
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
Female wrestling. AEW Heels female wrestling.
I am not trying to say that AEW Heels doesn't provide a great service, and they aren't doing anything to help empower women. But right now, it's only uplifting women that already had privilege to begin with. Besides the virtual meet and greets, AEW Heels will hold live in-person events, usually coinciding with a major AEW PPV.
I hate you. I so hate you. I hate you so much.
So just to be clear, this is an LGBT AEW PPV.
Oh, how about FU? There, that's all I need. Those two letters. FU.
Wait, hold on. I need to clear this in my head. This person is arguing for transgender people to get a subscription to a female wrestling site?
Transgender women can't afford it, Jack.
Oh, God.
For a trans woman to attend such an event, it would entail having proper travel documents, hopefully ones that have the correct gender markers for that trans woman.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
Oh,
If
God
not-
forbid. God forbid. Oh my God.
If not, that trans woman can expect to be constantly degraded by the process of having to deal with a TSA pat-down.
Oh my God, yes, because all they ever do is go for the crotches.
But all of that is even if the trans woman wanting to go to a live event can afford the round-trip tickets, hotel, and food for an exuberant weekend.
If they're below the poverty line, they wouldn't even think about going to this in the first fucking place. So shut
They
up.
That's just your
They
that's
have
just
to.
your privilege, Moonshock.
Shut
They
up.
have to, Moon. It's empowering.
Oh yeah.
How
Bucket list.
will they be able to attend live events featuring female wrestlers?
Oh,
Exactly.
we need to have the U.S. government under Joe Biden subsidize this stuff.
Thank you.
This is
Finally,
so
you're on board.
wacky.
These issues were only further highlighted about 2 weeks ago when AEW superstar Jade Cargill put the call out on Twitter looking for women that were baddies to help her fill a section near the entrance ramp or ringside so she wouldn't have to keep looking at the same men week after week.
All I can think of when you said that is that movie goes, "Are we the baddies?"
Mitchell and
So-
Webb.
Yeah.
She wanted
Yep.
Nazis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
baddies.
She not only wanted hotness, Jade wanted women that have confidence in themselves, women that were bad bitches,
Yeah.
that love who they are, no matter what
Okay.
some trash person might say on social media.
Someone call Cat Black immediately.
Needless to say, it went over very well. For the next week, Jade was absolutely on fire, elevating women of all types and giving them free tickets to help fill her baddie section. What truly was the best part was Jade using the platform to specifically highlight women of color, something AEW heels has failed to do.
God, even within your niche issues, you're bringing up niche issues. It's like niche issues all the way down. What is the smallest amount of relevance you can pack into like a general sentiment about how the world should be run?
Prospero, doesn't this just make you happy to be a woman or proud to be a woman?
Yeah.
All these people want to be just like the women's, and oh, gee, I tell you. He's completely dumbfounded.
But then, of
Lost the will
course,
to live.
But then, of course, a Karen from the AEW Heels group jumped in the conversation, complaining that the women of AEW Heels had been trying and failing to get their own cheering section at AEW shows for the longest time.
God.
Imagine my shock that there would be a Karen in this group. However could that be?
Mm-hmm.
All I saw was a privileged white woman speaking over a
Oh,
black
for
woman,
Christ's sake.
doing something to help marginalized women be seen, be heard, and be...
Literally nothing will ever be good enough
No.
for someone like this. It would be like if there was like one job in the world and there was only one position available at that workplace and a white person filled it, they would complain that there was not enough black representation. And so they would have to hire like a separate person who does literally nothing just to have a black person sitting next to the white person.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why this is so important.
It's
Well, it's not.
Just don't even try.
is that a real question?
To
It's
the
not my
trans community at all.
it's not my job
Uh,
to educate you, Prospero.
Yeah, yes, it is
It's
actually.
his job to trigger you.
This is, I mean,
Bro's just like, I'm just trying to move on with my fucking life.
Like, way to go. Way to go,
and-
Frosted. You broke
And
Prospero.
Frosted, this piece of shit, keeps dragging me back in.
well, the thing is he waits long enough between inviting me on so that I'll forget.
So what you're saying is that Frosted Glass is like the Taco Bell of web shows.
I have never wanted to kill myself while eating Taco Bell.
It's a
Have you and I-
phenomenon that's glass-lighting.
Yeah,
You
you
should
and
put
I have
that
been
in the
eating
Yelp
very
review of
different
Taco Bell.
I'm sorry, I missed.
You and I have been eating very different Taco Bell, I'm afraid.
No, but what Frosted does, it's called glass lighting.
Yes, it
Glass
works.
lighting.
It works because I was like, oh, cool. What a nice invitation. Yeah.
It's like cancer. It just comes back.
Every week,
God, don't say
Prosper.
that.
Every week for me.
I am
trapped
literally-
in a special level of hell.
That's voluntary, buddy.
Are
I'm
you
lit-
sure? Because I'm pretty sure this is like what's that shit called when you've been captured and you start like identifying with your captors?
Stockholm
What's
syndrome.
Yeah, this is just Stockholm syndrome at this point. That's my
I'm-
entire life is Stockholm syndrome.
I'm
Everyone
literally-
wants a piece of me, and I'm just dying.
I'm literally rubbing my hands together like a villain right now.
I don't even have anything to offer. What the fuck do you want me for? Leave me alone.
I know. I was thinking maybe I can be really, 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 really boring. And then I thought, nah, they ain't gonna work with this crowd. So
So compared to Minions, what would the corner be like?
Your punishment must be more severe.
I don't know what the fuck I did, but I'm sorry.
You became a personality that we all know.
In that moment, that Karen perfectly summed up the problem with AEW heels and also showed what can be done to fix it and truly make it inclusive.
This cunt's bitching about overly expensive wrestling ass tickets. And she's talking about somebody else being a Karen. I mean, I can't go to. Well, I'm not invited to state dinners. I mean,
Frosted, for the record, what is the title of this article?
He's not going to tell us until late.
Okay.
Let's see.
Whiny cunt moans at the world. They're
First
all
thing,
titled that.
First things first, AEW Heels needs to update and fix their website. It's clunky, hard to navigate, and looks like something from 2004.
Well, why don't you get one of those damn unemployed people to do that? You're worried about their poverty line. Why don't one of them learn to code?
Prospero gets more southern when she's angry.
Well, really, I mean, this is just fucking stupid.
Second issue would be updating the promotional photo that greets new and potential AEW Heels members.
What the hell is that?
Brandy Rhodes no longer works for AEW, and Heels should reflect that.
What's that thing in the upper right-hand side of that picture with the pink or red hair? The fuck is that? Oh, God.
Big Swole also no longer works with AEW, and considering the truth she had about Tony Khan and the way he books, it is insulting to still have her image in that promo photo. And if AEW Heels wants more members, wants to be less cost restrictive, allow a monthly fee instead of that $50 one-time hit. Do a discount membership.
And nobody can ever say anything about a bunch of anime fan fags, okay? This is the dumbest thing I think I have ever heard. How many people even know that this shit exists, right?
No idea.
Right.
Much less. I mean, this is like, I swear to God, does this person live in the Ozarks?
We haven't even gotten to the call to action yet. Alright, let's see. Do a discount membership drive. Do anything that helps welcome more marginalized women into the Heels community. And the last idea to boost membership and truly make AEW Heels inclusive?
Oh, God.
A special membership drive, where the more financially privileged members of AEW Heels purchase a yearly membership for a trans woman, specifically a trans woman of color.
No.
I've heard over and over again from some of these AEW Heels women defending on social media that $50 is cheap and shouldn't be an issue. It's time to prove it and put your money where your mouths are. Sponsor a new member to AEW Heels, and it can't be someone you know. It has to be a complete stranger from a walk of life that you have not made yourself familiar with. I'm not saying this is the only solution. These are just my ideas, my opinions. But AEW Heels needs to do better, starting now.
I hate you.
For the price of a cup of coffee a day, you can buy women's wrestling for a tranny.
You can sponsor a trans woman of color.
I just can't. I swear to God, it makes the Sally Struthers ads. about feeding the children? You know, where you know that she was like skimming off half the money for potato chips. It's just, oh, I shouldn't malign Sally Struthers. I'm sure.
Mhm.
I'm sure every dime went toward it's good
Oh
work.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, really, buy a tranny a seat at a women's wrestling event.
Sally Struthers looked like she ate a couple of those kids that she was collecting money
I
for.
know, but honest to God, why don't I tell you what? You get those underemployed people, and you host yourselves a telethon.
Well, I know that all of you, including everyone in chat, is just going to go right out and start buying wrestling memberships for trannies.
Divine Diana Ramsey. Oh my God! Even the author sounds stupid. Or the author's name, excuse me. Not, I mean, we already know the author's stupid, but the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah,
Divine Diane Ramsey.
I think we have adequate proof there. So it's
Because
Oh.
together we can make a difference, people.
Bullshit.
I just
Evolved Potato likes this more southern Prospero.
Well, you just have to make her really frustrated, apparently.
Jesus.
I don't think that it's the absurdity of the article is one thing. It's the total irrelevance of the article, I think, that gets to me.
Hey, trannies can't watch women's wrestling, and it's a problem in society.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet this woman lives in the South. I
Oh,
hate
and
saying,
I
I hate
looked it
saying
up.
that because it's a stereotype, but
I looked it up, and it's All Elite Wrestling is what AEW stands for.
oh,
Yeah, and apparently heels is the, women's wrestling portion.
Of course it
Because
is.
women are the bad guys.
No, they're the
I don't
baddies.
Because like the heels are the
It's-
bad guys in wrestling, and the faces are the good guys.
Yes.
It's a little bit different from men's wrestling because they don't make physical contact. The women just stand around and and act bitchy at one another.
They just use passive aggression.
They use passive aggression until one of them develops an eating disorder.
like that outfit looks so good for a woman of your figure.
I love how you can just wear anything.
They just throw verbal insults
Yeah.
back and forth.
oh my God. Okay, she's a
I
comedian.
love that you're not obsessed with your looks. There's another thing.
Oh
Where's-
no, Eugene, Oregon, and Sacramento, California. All right.
Oh, she's from California. Wow.
No,
I'm-
Oregon.
I-
Wow.
Yeah.
This is her bio for Twitch TV. I'm Divine Diana Ramsey, comedian, streamer, and overall amazing meat popsicle. Trans queer, she, her, my gender is chaos. Satan is my motor.
Oh,
Eugene, Oregon / Sacramento, California.
that says
join-
a lot, actually.
Joined February 2022, and the picture's just amazing.
Well, the University of Oregon is in Eugene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sacramento explains the wrestling though.
Well, she's also looping in all the stuff like Satan and all that other kind of shit. Because
Of course, because whatever.
Yeah.
And she's a comedian, can't you tell?
Her Twitch, yeah, Oregon
wow.
thinks
She-
thinks she's funny.
She
I
has
bet.
she has to make her parents mad somehow.
Well, if she's a comedian, then I think that she managed to fail this entire article here.
I just love the fact that she's like, Oregon thinks I'm funny, and I was like, west of the Cascades.
Yeah, that's not exactly.
I'd like to see you at a cattle auction in Western Oregon. Do your stand up.
Yeah, you cross the Cascades, the Eastern Oregonians are going to be like, get out.
Like,
Are we sure this is the
Some-
same person, by the way?
some clowns missing their rodeo. Some rodeos missing their clown. I mean, it's just you ought to. Well, Divine Diana Ramsey. How often do you think that name's gonna show up?
The thing is,
And
Oregon
the picture looks correct.
It's funny you should say that, Prospero, because Oregon is actually like California. The Western Oregon, west of the Cascades, is like your Southern California, and Eastern Oregon is like your Northern California. You have
Yes.
completely different ideologies. And
Oh,
having lived there and having been to both sides of Oregon, I know exactly what you're talking about.
all right, well, here's the about thing for her
Fellow
Medium account.
humans.
Hello, fellow humans. I am Divine Diana Ramsey, and I am 43, living my best life out here on the West Coast. I am an Air Force veteran. I am trans, I am queer, and I am an overall amazing meat popsicle. My pronouns are she, her, and my gender is chaos. Let's see. I write a variety of stories, professional wrestling, movies, pop culture, and other issues that are relevant to the LGBTQIA plus community. I'm here. I'm here just trying to uplift, entertain, and inform. I am also here to build my brand, as one day soon I plan to be working somewhere in the professional world.
Good work. Good luck with that.
Is there a picture
Uh,
with that one?
only like
Because there
the
it.
only like the small one here where you can't make anything out.
Try doing an image search in Google.
Yeah, there is in Twitter. I put the Twitter profile in the no, I put the Twitter profile in the StreamYard chat.
Divine Diana Ramsey.
She's Divine Dive Ramsey.
Oh God, is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Ah! Ah! See, even my dog. What the hell is that?
I think that's a human being.
That's a meat popsicle.
Mm.
That's Satan's idea of a meat popsicle.
That is a.
It's more of a corn dog.
And yeah, the article is the pinned tweet on the Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is this is a comedian, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but I'm laughing.
Like
That face looks so dead. That looks like the face of somebody who is just dead inside. And is that a Golden Girls bumper sticker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's got 181 followers on Twitter.
Ooh.
Wow, I've got more than this person.
You've got what?
If that person has 181, I've got more than that. That's crazy.
Terry, you could be a comedian.
Yeah,
I could be,
but you have to move to Western Oregon.
I had to look up the name of the actor because I couldn't remember, but it looks like a character played by Sam Rockwell.
Oh yes, I know what you mean.
This is probably a person who tried to
see
be
that.
This person probably tried to be a comedian as a guy, didn't work. Tried as a woman.
Oh, that was so funny.
Still isn't working.
Yeah, no, Bonnie McFarlane actually did that. She was not getting the laughs that she thought she deserved and she thought it was because she was a woman. So she dressed up as a man, called herself Barney, did her bit, and still got no laughs.
Frosted, please remove this picture from my screen.
I still like I still like the meme of guy going out like dressed as a woman, like I'm gonna go out and see what it's like being a woman, and then it shows him getting back and it says apparently women are called fags a lot.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I suppose we should wrap up.
That was terribly lookist of me. I'd like to apologize for being that shallow.
Nah, that's why we have you on. We know what you're going to be, talkative, and you want that.
I wouldn't want to be so shallow that I wrote articles talking about inequalities in the cost of wrestling tickets.
It's an important issue.
Yes. A burning matter of our time.
Well, ma'am, I do believe that is the very definition of shallow.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, we'll be back. Well, first I'll shill my co-host and guest, not Jack Gunsky, has
Mhm.
Quippers United on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern on his channel.
Not this week. Not this week.
Yeah.
Okay, then not Jack Gunsky has nothing. All right. Let's see. Moonshock has his Twitch channel where he plays games that aren't as good as Super Seducer, linked in the description. Let's see. Terry is on. What?
No, I was going to say, there's an easy way to stop us making that joke, Moonshock.
Buy me the game and I'll think about streaming it.
All right. Terry is on Johnny Hellcat streams. He's on Six is Sober streams. He's on Della Hazed and Hammers Minions Nights. He's on Quippers.
The Della thing will be stopping. I don't know exactly when, but Della's going to be stepping down as the Sunday host. So eventually, that will not be me anymore.
I was gonna say, Terry, stop doing so much stuff. We can't remember it all.
Well, there you go.
Did he say why he was stepping down?
Della's not going to be hosting Sundays.
Okay.
I don't know exactly when the change is going to happen, but yeah, he's looking at stopping.
Okay.
There was a violent coup.
Yeah, Minions is known for that.
Anything you want to show, Prospero?
You can find me on Minions of the Zoo on Tuesdays. Very, very rarely you will find me there on Saturdays, not because I don't want to be, but because I no longer have the time.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that will be different in the future.
Yeah.
And you can find me on Twitter on occasion, being a bitch.
There you go, Terry. Mr. Dax has an idea. Moon and Sun should play Super Seducer together, so we get
Yes, you should. I would watch that stream, as I've said repeatedly. You stream it, I will watch it.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week, the same time, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So long.